So hello, also from my side. Martin did two wonderful presentations, scientific ones. From my side, less scientific, more commercial or marketing oriented, but still. What I would like to do today is go with you together over our company to see what are we working on, our product portfolio, and I will show you the instruments. So the etaliómeter models, total carbon analyzer, CAS system, and also the DRI offline OCC analyzer. And we will briefly just touch the software, but then in the afternoon we can take a look at the instruments and do some hands-on, which will be, I think, more interesting than this. So just briefly, the company behind the etaliómeter is Aerosol. We design and manufacture advanced instruments for reliable measurement of black carbon and also other carbonaceous aerosols. And a lot of environmental researchers, climate scientists, regulatory agencies, and also industries trust us worldwide with our technology. As Martin already showed you, our headquarters are in Ljubljana, Slovenia. We have all the departments there. Currently, there are 31 employees. We have 6 production lines. And nevertheless, we are a really small company, but still we have more than 300 publications and conference presentations, which I think is impressive. I wanted to show you who are we not. So we always strive to make instruments that are practical, user-friendly, and that the use of our instruments is simple, which I think you already saw when we installed them. It's actually plug-and-play instrument. We are not elitist, so we are premium in class. If we work closely with scientists and professionals, and we try to turn the challenges into the solutions. With our instruments, we for sure are not passive and boring. We move really fast. As you saw, we developed a lot of new models, and we try to work closely together with our users and also grow through our partners. And we are really approachable, so we offer technical support, and we are with you every step of the way. And I think this can be seen worldwide with the use of our instrument. So what we do, we actually want to raise awareness of the dangers of black carbon and carbonaceous aerosols. We want to be the leading producer and the partner and provider of the systems, services, and support to our users. And how we do it? Actually, this is Tony Hansen at his beginnings in his small office in US. And he started actually in 1978, which is long time ago, but still we are here. And so the first etaliómeter was produced in 1983, and you can see it's a little bit different than the ones that we're producing right now. So there's a lot of innovation and design techniques and science behind the new instruments. So here you can see, but probably not even all, we have the etaliómeter installations practically all over the world, which is good since we have them also in different environmental environments, which means from the desert to the cold Amazonia, actually everywhere. As I mentioned, our company also has quite big for our company, I would say. 1/3 of the company represents the research part, and more than 10,000 scientific articles that are mentioning etaliómeter, not only from our scientists, but from the scientists all over the world, including you probably, yeah. How we sell through all the continents. We have really good partners in all the countries around the world, and we constantly expand our network of authorized representatives. And our partner in Chile is Ambiente Tecnología, with Carlos Saúl here today with us. And we are really happy to have him here because they support the same vision that we have in our company, which is really important when you have a partner to work with. I would like to show you our product portfolio. We for sure couldn't bring all the instruments together with us today, but what is important is that we have offline and online instrument, which means that you can have real-time measurements, or you can process your filters after you do the measurements or the sampling. And our methods are from thermal to optical, and then we combine them in the CAS system to get the complete fingerprint of carbonaceous aerosols. Yeah, so here is the timeline of our product portfolio. You can see the beginnings early on, and then in 2023, new etaliómeter models, and actually this year we launched the new TCA09 product. So every 2-3 years we have a new instrument. We really strive to be in time with all the advancements, with scientific advancements, and do the best that we can for our partners and users. So if we go on to the etaliómeter models, so here we can see on the left side etaliómeter A33, and we see the big difference in terms of user interface, which is now more attractive than the other one before. But still, we also we sell actually all 4 models right now, and the left bottom one is A43, which is a portable version. You can use it also. It's a lighter version. You can use it also in the more specific field measurements. Here is the quick comparison chart between all the etaliómeters. What is actually worth mentioning is that A36 model now has 9 wavelengths, and that the new models have improved connectivity. So with remote access software, you can handle the instrument remotely. We will see that in the afternoon, and some advancement with the self-cleaning procedure. And especially important, lower detection limit. So we lowered the detection limit of the instruments. Here are the, let's say, the most important features of the instrument. I will not go deeply into this. Maybe just to point out the main differences between the 2 models. So A36S has 1 second or 1 minute time resolution, while the A36 has 1 minute or 5 minutes time resolution. We also enabled the longer filter tape to be used in A36, which means that your instrument can last longer in the campaigns. You do not need to go there and change the filter tape. Something new and really good is also automatic data validation, which means that you can get out of the instrument directly the data that is already validated. And you do not need to deselect the data like tape advancement and so on, which is easier for the users. Martin already mentioned the different wavelength ranges. Just to point out once again, we added 340 and 400 wavelength in the UV range to get more information on the brown carbon and to enhance the resolution of brown carbon absorption. What is important, and maybe the really big change between A33 and A36, is that we added smart sensor to prevent water ingression through sample inlet, and also did improvement on the filter tape compartment to eliminate as much humidity as possible to get the better results. And you can see on the right side the effect of air conditioning on the A33 data. So we see here we did the simulation chamber with A33, and the humidity in the surroundings of the instrument changed rapidly, and this is the simulated how the fluctuation of relative humidity in comparison, like if you do it with the AC. And here we can see the difference now with A36 and the sealed compartment, the better results. Yeah. Here is the graphical user interface of A36S. We can see that on the main screen we have also brown carbon concentration. There are also a lot of options for graph chartings. And with A36 that we have with us, there's also a new feature, which is BC index. We would like to convince the monitoring agencies to give some special thought on the BC index, not only the air quality index, or in fact, insert BC index into the air quality index to have a better overview on the health effects of the people around the world. So I already mentioned the better sensitivity, so improved performance with respect to the A33, and we can see the limit of detection went from 40 nanograms per cubic meter to 15 nanograms per cubic meter, and you can also see below the robustness to relative humidity, which is much, much lower. Then I mentioned improved connectivity. So through our software, in case you have to have the instrument connected in the same network via internet cable, we will show later on, you can manage the instrument and download the data. Another special feature is self-cleaning procedure. We know that often there are some debris in the inlet and some, I don't know, insects or whatever that is obstructing the flow. This is how you can clean it. Actually, you can pre-select on the instrument that the instrument does this itself automatically, weekly or monthly, whatever you decide. And we can see on the right side what is the change when we clean the inlet. Okay, so these are our two new instruments. On the left upper side is the CAS carbonaceous aerosol speciation system in combination with TCA09 and A36S. And on the right side, you can see TCA09, which we have also outside. Key advantages is, I think that Martin already mentioned, the majority. We can look at the sources and the emission patterns, which is really difficult to determine from 24-hour filters. So we have near real-time data. And I think this is really important, especially now when we have a lot of extreme events, such as wildfires, forest fires. And I think it's utmost importance that we have this instrument. It can operate by itself for 30 days now, which I think is also good because it doesn't need a lot of maintenance and people going to the stations, bringing back the samples to the lab and going back and forth. And that the real-time instruments are more sensitive than the filter analyzes. And I think this is also important. Maybe something I mentioned also outside. So this instrument does not need any gases, nor it does not contain any glass parts, which is something that is really important if you use the instrument in the field. And gas consumption is also worth not neglectable when looking from the cost perspective. Here is just a comparison between the old and the new models. This was the CAS and the TCA. Worth mentioning with the TCA 09 is that we have now 10 minutes time resolution, whereas before we had 20 minutes. And we now have the ability to calibrate the instrument with the sucrose or KHP. Some advantages or improvements that we did, like mentioned, compliance with standardization. So now we are compliant with regulatory and standardized total carbon calibration, which is really important. Before we could do only calibration with the filter samples. Now we have all three together you can use. I think that in terms of, from scientific perspective, that 10 minutes time resolution is really important. Maybe not that much for, or also for the monitoring institutions, because you can really capture all the spikes that are happening in the ambient air. And I think this is more and more important, and that we are pioneers exactly with the previous instrument when we had 20 minutes time resolution, now 10 minutes. I think it's really important for this carbonaceous aerosol fingerprinting. Martin mentioned different models of carbonaceous aerosol fingerprint. So we have different models because of the different instruments used. Six components, 5-component model, which the new one is maybe more simplified than the older one, but and it's also available on the instrument itself. You get the real-time calculation and real-time visualization. Okay, maybe just to touch down, we often get asked about our instrument in comparison with the cheaper versions. So non-neglectable cheaper instruments offer lower time resolution, discontinuous sampling, protocol-dependent OCC split, higher operational burden, hidden long-term costs, more downtime, manual quality assurance and quality control. And I think at the end, the price is not the right question, but the value of the data is. I know that it's difficult sometimes, especially for the universities and institutions, to get the budgets, but I think long-term, it really pays the price. How to choose the right one? So you can couple TCA 09 with A36 or A36S. I think that the one with A36S is more appropriate for the scientists because it's more advanced, while the other one is ideal for monitoring agencies with the BC index and less intervention. Here are some references of CAS instruments sold. And we can go on to the DRI. So while I was promoting online OCC analyzer, we also sell the offline one. So the the standard one. So Aerosol Magee Scientific was granted manufacturing license for DRI 2015 model from Nevada Desert Research Institute. We were working at the time with Judy Chow, and we were awarded to take over the manufacturing of the instrument. We did a lot of improvements over the years. So in 2021, there was also a collaboration with Photonion and University of Rostock, and we managed to couple the DRI instrument with mass spectrometer. And in 2023, we added also the autoloader feature. So again, less manual work. This is the difference when we got the instrument and now that was redeveloped by us. I think that majority of you already know there are general protocols used for the measurements. What is maybe advantage of our instrument is that we measure reflectance and transmittance at the same time, and that we have 7 wavelengths, which also enables us to get the information on the brown carbon. This is something that probably Martin, if anyone has questions, Martin will be able to explain to you. We also have the brown carbon calculator software and how you do the calculation if you have the instrument. This is the coupling with the mass spectrometer. We have this configuration in China. And this is the autoloader, so it offers 50 sample storage, which means 24 hours of autonomous operation. We provide cooling below 23 degrees to eliminate sample desorption, and filter compartment overpressure to decrease the VOC contamination. And you can still manually input the filter samples. This is how it looks like. I think it's quite nice. If you would have the instrument here, it would be nice to see. Also, the important thing is the high sensitivity mode, because with 3 times larger sample area, we improved the limit of detection for TCOC and EC. And you can see the difference in the detection. Here are also some users of the DRI. And if we go to the software, this is the slide I borrowed from my colleague when we had the presentation sales meeting not that long ago. He said, do you want to wait in the line while going to the work or to the station? Or do you want to sit at home, drink coffee, and have overview of what's going on with your instrument? So I think this is really good representation of our remote access system, which is in-house developed software tool for remote control and data retrieval from our instruments. Worth mentioning is that you can have direct access to live instrument data. You can export measurements, data, and backups. Also, it's easier to troubleshoot if you have any issues without going on site. And this is reduced downside for the customers. I will not go into the details here because we will show this in the afternoon. Maybe worth mentioning is that our software is free of charge, and that you need only the intranet and VPN access, and you can remotely work with your instrument. You don't have to go to the site in case the road is closed. And this is another software that we have. This is carbonaceous aerosol analysis tool. When you download the data, you can post-process the data and play with diurnal profiles, change absorption coefficients, and angstrom exponents, and so on. Get really nice graphs for your publications. And that's it from my side. Thank you so much.